Okay. These are the wings, blades. They are all separate in segments to reconstruct the Iron Man faceplate. This looks like an alley cat, but forgive me, I still have to add the metal onto the separate parts to separate them for the flap. Now this is going to be used, I have this to hold the actuator because the oscillation may be very intense to wave. I'm going to be using solenoid electromagnetics, using permanent magnets in order to lift these parts and segments and move them away from the electromagnetic field. However, I'm gluing the magnets on here. I added the mechanical stuff instead of gluing them on. So I'm gonna glue the magnets onto the frame and put them under this kind of foil type metal and bending deformation so that it reconstructs the structure of the Iron Man faceplate. The fang part at the bottom too, you don't see it because it's supposed to be on here. I didn't apply it yet because I still have to take these things off the surfaces and apply the permanent magnets, and then I have to apply the winding coil. The winding coil, the magnets are going to be localized here, the winding coil is going to be down on the surfaces, and that's going to enable it to move away from the magnetic field. However, I can either wind the winding coil on here, do it the opposite way with permanent magnets at the bottom, or move away from the magnetic field. I have to need a turner to cause it to move back and forth. I also have a block so I don't have to have it all the way over. So I made a block segment so it don't flip all the way over. Now, the piezoelectric buzzers I'm going to add to the bottom of the frame. Separated magnets at a distance alongside this frame. So the winding coil here, the electromagnetic winding coil here, and the permanent, let's step up. So the permanent magnets here, and the winding coil here, and the permanent magnets here, so that the winding coil will separate these two parts, separate like this, 3. Now, because of the permanent magnets, it will move the winding coil this way. And because of, I'm going to be using a retractable return cable, and it's going to be the small ones that you use for headphones and stuff like that. So the mechatronic plastic system I'm going to use for headphones, I'm going to apply it in here, but I'm going to deteriorate all that other stuff just to reshape the structure and the prism that holds the strength cables to retract the wire back to its place, the cable back to its place. So that's going to be used to also return it back. So, and I'm going to be using a spring too along with that segment. So that's not the only part that I'm using to move with electromagnetics. I put the latches in linear motion, a liner, right alongside one another. We're going to use a socket flexible micro miniature thread rod, and this is basically it's a flexi rod, and it's very flexible. It's very small, and it will fit in the rods. Where I will have a stepper motor actuator to rotate the armature and clinch it right here, vice it right here at each part of the segment so it stays and remains, while the other part allows it freedom to oscillate. So the flapping, I have it onto the structure, it's Spider-Man faceplate. So the flapping will enable it to fly in the air. The gripping part of the segment is a part of the wideness when it opens up wide for the grip of the face. Now I have to add the suction cups or some kind of suction cup rubber along the side of the edges. So that will enable it to have some kind of grip, towards the face, and a light collision when landing. Having permanent magnets and electromagnetics onto the wetsuit surface, basically, will enable it to have a proper landing without really hurting my face. And so the collision should be okay. So I have all the magnets, and I have the actuators. So I'm applying the actuators and the magnets in my clip. After the next week of hours, my name is Jermaine, Morton, goodbye.